Breaking down Estacado sports. This is the Matador Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. It is the Matador Fan Zone. I am Rob Breaux, making a debut here on the High School Fan Zone as we talk about Estacado basketball. And as we do when we talk about Estacado basketball, it's a lot of winning here. And it has been a culture of winning here under Tony Wagner, who is going for his fifth straight district championship here with the Estacado Matadors. Estacado boys are rolling toward a fifth straight district championship. Big game at home on Friday versus second place Liberty. I was looking through their schedule here with Estacado, and they're good. Estacado has been beating people and beating people soundly, especially through district play. They've gone through the district slate once. It's kind of how it works here at this level. Snyder, Liberty, Lakeview, Big Spring, and Levelland. They've played them all once. They beat Snyder 78-32, beat Liberty 73-46, Lakeview 110-46, Big Spring 77-20, and then Levelland 81-56. That was on Friday. You add all that up and divide by 5, and that is 43.8 points per game that Estacado is beating district opponents by. And if you're just kind of looking around, that is 5-0 in district. Again, Liberty is 4-1 right behind them. And now you kind of reset the deck, and you're going to play Snyder, Liberty, Lakeview, Big Spring, and Levelland in that order again. The Snyder Tigers up first with a road trip to Snyder tomorrow night. That game tips off after the girls' game tomorrow. And the Snyder Tigers again, you're just kind of looking around at the district. They are 0-4 and 6-20 on the year. And again, Estacado's already handled them pretty well. So you kind of start to look around and say, okay, Estacado's done it once. Can they do it again? Can you go 10-0? Can you get in the playoffs? Can you make a run in the playoffs? That's what you're kind of looking for with Tony Wagner's bunch right now as we I thought we were welcoming in Coach Wagner, but we see the next coach walk by there. But you're just seeing if you can do it twice. Now you've gone through 5-0, 22-6 overall. You have some really talented players as you move through that have had really good seasons. Wilbon is averaging 20.5 points per game. Stevenson, 14.6. Ward, 9.3. So you have kind of a group of players that have played really, really well for Estacado. And you start looking around at the rankings and where they stack up. And you start looking forward, they're top 70 in the state, just period. In the Texas Division of 4A rankings, they're number 3 overall. In Region 1, they're highly ranked. So you're really starting to look around here at Estacado with some expectations here as they move into the playoffs. We'll talk more about the games coming up when we return to the Matador Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Diving headfirst into Estacado athletics. You're listening to the Matador Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score. I'm Rob Breaux. This is the Matador Fan Zone. Here is part of the High School Fan Zone. Estacado boys basketball enjoying a very good season as they move through District 5 4A. 5-0 on the first run-through of the district schedule. And they'll do it again as you kind of play the first 5, and then you play them at the opposite place. If you played them at home, you play them on the road. If you played them on the road, you play them at home. So in some order, Liberty, Levelland, Lakeview, Big Spring, Snyder all coming up. The next 2 this week, as we focus on the upcoming week, on Tuesday, they play Snyder. Now, Snyder's 0-4 in district play, 6-20. As they have moved along, kind of limped toward the end of this district schedule, Estacado's been the opposite, 5-0, 22-6, pretty much the exact opposite, as they have enjoyed an undefeated district season and pretty much the opposite in the way of the total schedule. So you play Snyder tomorrow night. You expect to win that one. Now, when you start looking at high school basketball and expectations and expecting to win, now this is not what Tony Wagner's bunch generally does, but you have to stay focused, especially going through with a 48-point or 43, 48-point average margin of victory here in district through the first 5. You're trying to replicate that, and you have to kind of keep your edge, keep your chip, as they say, as you go through again. And even though you had a big win against Liberty earlier in the district slate, you have to do it again on Friday. And Liberty is 4-1 in district play. The only loss was there against Estacado. Again, that game early on, 73-46 against Liberty. Estacado has beaten Snyder as well, 78-32. So it really is just an expectation of doing it for a second time. And then as you start kind of going through district play, you get closer and closer to the end of the year, and you start looking at playoff expectations and trying to get into what you're trying to get into late in the season. District championships, gold balls, starting finding your way through the playoffs. You start looking at some of Tony Wagner's other teams and how well they've done. And you're looking at, I don't know, the 2010 state championship team or the 2012 team that went a couple of rounds deep in the playoffs. And you start kind of looking around at this roster and at those rosters, and you might have something really cooking here with this team. And you've had a lot of good teams in the Tony Wagner era, even in the last several years. And hopefully this is an opportunity for Tony Wagner's bunch to do it again. They've certainly gotten off to a great start. And if they could just replicate what they've been doing, it should not be a big issue. All right, on the other side, Westerner Fan Zone coming up. Girls basketball coach Brent Palmer on with us after this on 100.7 The Score. It's High School Fan Zone.